No, I mean the app is already on the market and it even generates some traffic and, as far as I know, some revenue. Of course, I'm not talking about profitability and so on, but traction has already appeared.
We have a different story. Like all startups, we are increasing the project's valuation. So when I first came in, I said that our project was currently valued at 150, 200,000 euros. Right now, we have significantly increased our valuation, and we are attracting investments on increasingly favorable terms. And our task is to raise our project's valuation to a level where we can attract serious amounts of money, because entering the international market involves completely different figures. We're talking about 6 zeros there. And our task is to raise our project's valuation to a level where we can attract serious amounts of money, because entering the international market involves completely different figures. There are already 6 zeros. All the resulting consequences, there are already professional teams that work with you full-time, because post-launch doesn't work anymore. You need to have your own developers, your own good proper marketers who understand the specifics of each market. Because advertising for Germans and for French people has to be completely different. Germans catch on to certain phrases while the French respond to others. This is a whole different story. Germans catch on to certain phrases while the French respond to others. This is a whole different story, but as I said, the revenue we're generating right now is from increasing our own valuation.
Well, in any case, at some point the valuation doesn't just come out of thin air. Of course, valuation, from a certain perspective, there is some traction that you are showing which should be present in the future.
And the most important story for attracting investments is having a team. You asked a very smart question at the beginning. Why didn't you give up on this project? So it's clear that the core of the team is me, and despite all the difficulties I've had to go through, I'm not giving up on this project. And investors know this. They know that even if they invest money, even if the project doesn't pay off as quickly as we want, I won't abandon this project, and I'll bring it to some point where it'll cost more and more and more, and their money will pay off one way or another. That's why
I agree. It's like they say, this investor isn't buying the project, they're buying the founder.
he's buying the team.
Well, in this case, it's about the founder, because they are the one who won't bail out first from the whole team.
Yes, and the one who will build this team and bring everyone together. But when we work, not when, but since we work in a competitive market, it's not hard for me to attract people to the project, because people like our story. Well, right? So people look and say, oh, great, we're selling people dreams. You see, we sell people emotions. It's always nice to sell a good product. We have a fantastic product, adventures on sailing yachts.
Especially, there's a very interesting pattern. I would say that all the people who are in one way or another connected to yachting are very eager and, let's say, full of energy and desire to share this story with those who haven't tried it or don't know about it. And this too. So your project, in essence, is like a piece of that energy that can be sent out to the masses.
I told you that every captain feels a bit like a guru, a mentor, a guide into the world of yachting. Captains love to attract people to yachting, to show how beautiful it is and how enjoyable it can be.
Yeah. Damn, you just brought up the topic. How much people love to be guides. I actually had a question about the fact that, as I've noticed both in myself and from others, there's always some key person who brings another person into yachting. And usually it's not always a person who is like the first point of contact. So I met someone, like it was a captain. Through him I got into yachting. No, it can be some random person who played some like unclear role, after which accordingly the whole trajectory of your life went in a different direction.
A person posted beautiful pictures on Instagram and they caught your attention and you said, I want that too.
I think that's how it is in the minds of our users and viewers. But in reality, it doesn't quite happen that way. At least it wasn't like that for me at all. So there were specific people who, changed the picture for me 180 degrees, to the point where I was like, damn, I guess I at least need to give it a try. That moment when you shift from like, these are just thoughts, just fantasies, to the moment when you have a clear decision, like, I'm ready to do this, and you start taking actions that lead you somewhere. And I wanted to ask you if it was the same for you. Who was that person in your life?
Kostya Senchenko, that's my friend. This is a person who just walked out the gates of the Central Yacht Club in blue overalls with straps and work clothes. And I said, well, I came in all cocky, you know, bending my fingers, like switching them back and forth. He said, you probably want to join a crew, right? I said, yeah, what can I do? Yeah, sure. And Kostya as well, let's start getting to know the yachts. Go wash that boat over there, you know? And I was this stylish guy, you know, showing up with money. Damn, wash the boat. Well, okay, if I have to, then I have to. I wash the boat outside, the bottom, everything. That's it. A week later, he introduced me to my first captain, who took me onto his crew. I started racing in Russia, and then I went through all these steps from a deckhand to a captain. That's how I got sucked into this story.
Got it. Okay. Right now, actually, it's a bit further along when we're heading towards the yacht. This is just a continuation of those questions. I probably have a final question specifically about the project. Is everything going according to plan for you? How do you, so some roadmaps and so on, so you plan for things to develop like this, and this, but usually it never adds up.
Everything is going according to plan only for Kupin in esports? Of course not. Laughter? Of course not. Of course, we face a huge number of challenges that we have to overcome. Certain facts come up that completely change our approach to this story, but there have been so many challenges like that already that we've gotten used to dealing with them, and we no longer see them as, oh, some kind of catastrophe. So another challenge. What nonsense.